explain my story to help the next person.
Absolutely. And you did a wonderful job. And I feel that talking about your story is also a testimony too, because you made it.
Uh,
Um, it was a fight. It was a journey. Um, you have a lot of people who have experienced this, and they go on suicide missions, straight robbing, shooting, and killing because they're angry at what took place, and they just reckless and they don't care what happens, right?
right.
Or they get on heavy drugs, or they might die of an overdose, or they might just get tired or commit suicide or something like that. So, regardless of what you have gone through in life, you're still here to talk about it. It's because God allowed you to go through this journey, even though this thing called life is not so easy, but it's not for the weak. So, that right there shows you are strong, you are built for it. Even though as a child, you probably say, well, as a child, is it fair to have gone through that? No, it wasn't fair. But you made it because
Right.
you're going to be a better father. You're going to stand
Yeah.
10 toes down to help someone. You are a good person because it's in you. In order for you to give back, to be able to tell your story to help others, you have to go through it. It's just like a child, right? In order for a child to know, if your child trying to stick something in the plug, and we know that this can electrocute this child, right? You have to pop their hand, or you might say, no, no, move back, don't do it, or cover it up with some safety things. A child has to learn. If you
Right.
don't learn to go through it, how would you know, right? Even though it
Exactly.
might be a painful thing, and it will never go away. We just learn how to deal with it. We learn how to move on. And you can question why. Why? And then it all stems back to their parents. Because you have to ask yourself, how was your mother raised, or how was your father raised? Did they experience this? Because sometimes it's a generation thing, you know. And
Definitely agree.
sometimes parents don't want to talk about it. And sometimes you might hear from it from relatives. And they might not know what's right and what's wrong. And we tend to think, well, you have to know what's right and what's wrong because you're showing favoritism now. You know this not right. But was it favoritism shown to other siblings when they grew up? Or did their father neglect them, or their mother did neglect them? A lot of times
Right.
it's things like that has happened.
I agree.
But you're strong. You're strong, and your story is gonna help other people. It's so many people who has gone through what you have gone through. It's so many little girls who have gone through the trauma of a mother neglecting them, showing favoritism towards their siblings, or have
Right.
given them up and their grandmother raised them. As a mother, whether it's a son or a daughter, think about a young lady. You feel like my mom gave me away, or my father went there, and you get to question why. And you can't see it
Right.
why. It's hurtful, right?
Right.
It's hurtful. But I thank you so much, KR, for talking to me. I know we're going to
No
have a
problem.
part two.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're such a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
And continue to do your music, continue on your journey. And 2024 is going to be a better year. Even though we might run into some bumps in life, and you might run into some bumps, that's called life, right?
Right.
But you keep striving on, And when that pain hits you, you just got to pray about it.
Right.
You just have to pray about it and say, God, give me the strength. And this devil is trying to attack me. Lord, I got to keep on moving forward because I know it's going to be a better days. Because a lot of times when you're doing good, that depression sneaks up on you. That darkness comes. You can watch something on TV, or you can just think about something or a conversation and it hits you. But see, that's the enemy. The enemy trying to attack you.
Right.
But see, you got to know how to deviate, just like in the boxing ring. You know how they get the jumping and moving around with the punches. You got to know how to do it with this too, because it will get